Hey everybody, this is Grace. Pardon how I'm doing the video. Well, let me tell you, the past 3 weeks at least, I have had one problem after another. And Murphy's Law, I feel like I haven't had a Murphy's Law life. But especially the past few days, you know, I'm in North Texas, North Central Texas, north of Dallas, in a suburb of Dallas. And that's where I live. And maybe some of you have heard how bad Texas was hit, and I know other places were hit pretty bad with these winter storms back to back. And it's, you know, very unusual for anybody, especially here, so much that we don't really know. Those of us who really haven't lived anywhere else that has something like this, I would say many, not most, of us don't know how to handle this. Plus, there were rolling, they called them rolling or rotating or whatever, blackouts. Some people just didn't have any electricity, still don't have electricity for a few days now. And, you know, really bad stuff happening, people sleeping in their cars, people getting carbon monoxide poisoning. And this is all over Texas, from what I've understand from the news. It's all over Texas. So, and we've had our bad. You know, I mean, the first was Sunday night. It's really Monday morning, like 2 a.m. that we knew of. Electricity went out and started going out and coming back on and on, the rolling blackouts. That's what we found out the next day. They were doing it on purpose. And we haven't had that since, but I'm not holding, you know, I'm not saying it's not going to happen. And, I mean, during all of it, there was enough that I was the only one that really was fully functioning adult in the house. And I've been dealing with a dog with dementia. He wants to go out all the time, and he can't go out in that because he falls, he's old, and nobody was going to be able to go get him. I certainly wasn't going to be able to. And I even stepped onto the, what you call the, you know, right outside the front door threshold, I think. And the only shoes I found in my house, yeah. What was that all about? But to be able to go out there in, there was rubber on the bottom, and I would have fallen. And first thing was, I'm going to slip. I'm not going. That was today. Anyway, lots of snow, lots of ice. We were trapped here, all of that, and then we kept having problems. Seriously, one problem after another. And which today, I'll say what, today we got a pipe fixed. Yeah, we had a busted pipe, water everywhere. Luckily, like Adam said, luckily you were in there in the laundry room. And I was like, what is this noise? I'm not doing laundry. Maybe he's in the bathroom. And then I said, no, that's way too loud. And it was a copper pipe. I think I asked him if that's a coupling or something like that, and he just looked at me. You know? But anyway, it burst. Water all in the laundry room, all in the master bedroom, bathroom. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. A bunch of my clothes probably ruined that were in the laundry room, and we got that fixed today. Luckily, we have a neighbor who, I think he owns the company, but he has to have all the license for, you know, remodeling, and so he has one for plumbing, and yeah, a lot of things. And he and his son, I think, fixed it, and today, so we had water. If you've never not had water, oh, wow. And I've lived through that when I was young, but that was when I was a kid. We had a hurricane one time. But there was that, and then I went to change my socks because I got wet from walking, and noticed my legs, well, mainly one ankle was swollen. And I had that happen before one time. I had to go to the hospital, and they just like rushed me out of there as fast as they could. Really didn't tell me much about it, but that's another story. Anyway, it's been one thing after another, and it's been pretty bad. I mean, I'm not, she probably shouldn't complain, because there are some people who are living in a house with 30-degree weather, temperatures, or in their apartment or wherever, and some don't have water either. And then they're trying to find places to eat, and the lines around the block, and yeah, it's been pretty rough here. Okay, I pushed the wrong button. Anyway, on top of all of it, was what I've been dealing with for 3 weeks now. And why I was the only fully functioning adult, but now I think that's not the case. But, boy, and I was, one of the reasons I think the reason that that foot was a little swollen was because I was sleeping on the recliner. I had to move a lot of furniture, move a lot of stuff around, so we could all be centrally located. And Adam and I both were sleeping on recliners, and it was, I didn't feel any body aches or pains really from it, and it doesn't go back right in mine, but I think that's why my leg was swollen. And I hope, because the chance of me getting out of here to go to the hospital, not happening. I mean, they've been telling us to stay home. If you don't have to go out, just stay home. And I think 1 or 2 people on our street finally went out today. Okay. And this is today is Wednesday. And I think this basically started Sunday. Valentine's Day. Yeah, and yeah. So, and I tell you, I've not gotten much sleep, and yeah. So if I'm rambling, that's lately. No sleep, and worry. It was kind of like being in a totally strange state, Just, it's all been worry, because like the first night we had those blackouts, I was waiting the next night, Monday night, for it to happen again. It did not happen, and didn't happen Tuesday night. But there's that fear there that it will, and it's going to get unbelievably cold inside. And, do we have enough blankets? And now, yeah, I had to use a lot of towels for the bathroom, and the rugs. I'd put rugs down so nobody slips on the, things. And it's like all the work I would do for it, I would get undone or have a problem with it. Like even a humidifier, I was going to throw that humidifier away. It was sitting there near the trash. But when this started happening, the humidity went down low. And I'm the only one here who suffers when that happens. That my hands cracking, and what they call them, dry, cracking hands or whatever. It looks like cuts to me. And I had just gotten the other one healed because it's been winter and low humidity. And I got my right one healed, and the other one, now they're both bad, all over again. But there was more to that. That was, it was me using one of those alcohol things by taking someone to the emergency, not an emergency room, but a urgent care. I used one of those, not a towel, but whatever they're called, with alcohol, and I'm allergic. Didn't think I would be, but but it was. And so my hands broke out. Finally got them to be better, and now it's just, oh my goodness. And also on top of it, you ready for another one? I think it was Sunday, whenever, one of our half bath, yeah, it got stuck, or what's the term for it? Clogged, yeah. We only have one little tiny one left downstairs. I can't go upstairs because of my knee that I hurt last February of last year, 2020. And like I said, I'm only one fully functioning. But I had to today because of the pipes. I had to go up there and open up that door and all that, and it was bad. I haven't had any physical therapy or whatever on that knee, and it was okay. But when I got up there, the puppy had been up there, yeah. And it was, I cannot ever remember feeling like I'm afraid I'm going to fall down those stairs, but I certainly felt that when I went up there. It's, yeah. I had to hold on real tight because I felt that, I think it's lack of sleep, and just felt that, what is it called? You know, when you're not, it's not vertigo, or what is it? When you're just not, yeah, you might fall. Yeah, that kind of thing. Okay, so anyway, it's been one, and that's not all of them. There are other things, and the reason I have to let Marmaduke out the front door is because he fell the first night. I mean, or even daytime, I think it was. He fell on the ramp that he takes out the doggy door out off the patio, and I'm like, I can't pick him up. He's heavy, and I can't go back there because I would fall, and if I fell, and you see, it would be like a crazy chain of events, which has already been enough, you know, of that. And but it's been rough, and so much, you know, so many things. The cooking, you know, of course we're not going to be ordering anything to eat, and because there'd be other people. We have bridges around here, and you know, bridges just over. It's not like the ones that, not like highway bridges, but you know, just bridges over creeks and stuff like that. And I've slid across one before in 2004, I think, in an SUV, and people going the other direction on the other side, they ran into one another. Nobody ran into me, luckily, and I don't want to ever do that again. Didn't even know that there was ice on the black ice, and we get black ice really bad. A lot of places do, I know. But yeah, and I remember saying before in the past, and we don't know how to drive on that, and people would come back and say, none of us do. Okay, it's just not our norm. We don't know that. We don't know much about it. You know, I can't speak for everyone, but people I know say that. We don't know enough about it, so I'm sure some people do, but yeah, it's been exhausting, and it really has been, and yeah, I even broke out with a rash. Oh my goodness, it's like 2 rashes, 3, I don't know. Oh my goodness, it's like, come on. And just one thing after another. And yeah, I mean, that's just me, you know, when I'm involved, but there's more, you know, all around. We were really lucky about this with the, you know, the lights, the electricity, and we're really lucky with the, that I was in that room, laundry room, heard it. Like he keeps saying, you know, the whole house, we were woken up and the house would have been flooded, and yeah, so people going through stuff, you know. I'm not the only one. You can watch TV and hear a lot of people what they're going through. You know, people with, you know, like I said, sleeping in their cars, little kids, because they have babies or little kids, and or elderly people, anybody who's going through not having electricity or water, you know, or food. I mean, food's becoming a problem for people having food. Yesterday I had I was even thinking, what's going on with me? I'm not one to believe in ooey, you know, like that kind of supernatural, whatever, psychic stuff. But yesterday I had this weird feeling. I said, I gotta cook stuff. I need to cook stuff. And just in case. And just in case what? Electricity's out. We'll have something cooked. And I even baked a cake. Seriously. It was no sugar added, or no sugar, whatever, but still they got carbs. And chocolate cake. And I definitely realized I'm not a prepper, and I definitely would not be ready for, if this lasted much longer. It's going to be, what, 2 more days or so. But I cooked, and it was a good thing, you know, if something would have happened. And in the way it did, because we didn't have water, And how was I going to cook without water? You know, I mean, you can, true. And of course, you know, if both electricity and the water were out, wow. You know, and we even called a place. He had me call a place last night. Well, I called and I was reading all the, you know, for a hotel, and it was the closest one that I know. It's not that close. And I've stayed there before. And when we had like the floors put in years ago, hardwood floor, and called them, and boy, whatever they call it, people rating it and, you know, writing reviews were so bad. Really bad. Nobody would answer the phone anyway. And so you know, you might have heard on TV, a lot of people are getting in hotel rooms because of problems like that. Yeah. It makes both of us think we need to be much more prepared. You know, but I mean, this is they say once in a lifetime, or the last time was in the 40s on this part, and that other one was 100 years, and the other one was, you know, whatever. It was unusual for a lot of people. Anyway, I think that's enough for now. I might add some later. We'll see.